Welcome. We are reading the entire Bible and the Apocrypha and the Pseudipigrapha. And we are so happy you are here. Why are we reading the Bible? Well, I always wanted to read the Bible all the way straight through. I've read whole passages in the Bible, yet I've never read the Bible all the way straight through, including the Apocrypha and parts of the Pseudipigrapha, straight through. And that's what we're doing. Today, we're concluding the book of Enoch 3, the third book of Enoch. After we do our reading, we have a commentary, and that's where it gets all the way live about occult topics, esoteric science and understanding, Christian witchcraft, metaphysics, manifestation, Anunnaki, consciousness, all the deliciousness. Let's go. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Come on in. Come on in. The Book of Enoch. Today, we will complete our travels around the universe with Rabbi Ishmael. Chapter 48, continued, part C, an Enoch Metatron piece, Alt 1. I seized him, and I took him, and I appointed him, that is Enoch, the son of Jared, whose name is Metatron. And I took him from among the men, children of men, and made him a throne over against my throne, which is the size of that throne, 70,000 parasangs, all of fire. I committed unto him 70 angels, corresponding to the nations of the world, and I gave unto his charge all the household above and below. And I committed to him wisdom and intelligence, more than to all the angels, and I called his name the Lesser Yah, whose name is by gematria 71. And I arranged for him all the works of creation, and I made his power to transcend. I made for him power more than all the ministering angels. Alt 2. He committed unto Metatron, that is Enoch, the son of Jared, all treasuries. And I appointed him over all the stores that I have in every heaven. And I committed into his hands the keys of each heavenly store. I made of him the prince over all the princes, and I made of him a minister of my throne of glory, to provide for and arrange the holy Chioth, to wreath crowns for them, to crown them with crowns, to clothe them with honor and majesty, to prepare for them a seat when he is sitting on his throne, to magnify his glory in the height. The height of his stature among all those that are of high stature is 70,000 parasangs. And I made his glory great as the majesty of my glory, and the brilliance of his eyes as the splendor of the throne of glory. His garment, honor, and majesty, his royal crown, 500 by 500 parasangs. Alt 3. Aleph 1. I made him strong. I took him. I appointed him, namely Metatron, my servant who is one unique among all the children of heaven. I made him strong in the generation of the first Adam. But when I beheld the men of the generation of the flood, that they were corrupt, then I moved my Shekinah from among them, and I lifted it up on high with the sound of a trumpet and with a shout, as it is written, Psalm 47:6. God is gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. And I took him, that is Enoch, the son of Jared, from among them, and I lifted him up with the sound of a trumpet, and with a terror shout to the high heavens, to be my witness, together with the Chioth by the Merkabah in the world to come. I appointed him over all the treasuries and stores that I have in every heaven, and I committed into his hand the keys of every several one. I made of him the prince over all the princes, and a minister of the throne of glory, and the halls of Araboth to open their doors to me, and of the throne of glory to exalt and arrange it. And I appointed him over the holy child to wreath crowns upon their heads, the majestic Ophanim to crown them with strength and glory, the honored cherubim to clothe them in majesty, over the radiant sparks to make them to shine with splendor and brilliance, over the flaming seraphim to cover them with highness, the chasmalim of light to make them radiant with light, and to prepare the seat for me every morning as I sit upon the throne of glory, and to extol and magnify my glory in the height of my power. And I have committed unto him the secrets of above and the secrets of below, heavenly secrets and earthly secrets. I made him higher than all. The height of his stature in the midst of all who are high of stature, I made 70,000 parasangs. I made his throne great by the majesty of my throne, and I increased its glory by the honor of my glory. Transformed his flesh into torches of fire, and all the bones of his body into fiery coals, and I made the appearance of his eyes as the lightning, and the light of his eyebrows as the imperishable light. I made his face bright as the splendor of the sun, and his eyes as the splendor of the throne of glory. I made honor and majesty his clothing, beauty and highness his covering cloak, and a royal crown of 500 by times 500 parasangs his diadem. And I put upon him of my honor, my majesty, and the splendor of my glory that is upon my throne of glory. I called him the lesser Yahweh, the prince of the presence, the knower of secrets. For every secret did I reveal to him as a father, and all mysteries declared I unto him in uprightness. I set up his throne at the door of my hall, that he may sit and judge the heavenly household on high. And I placed every prince before him to receive authority from him to perform his will. 70 names did I take from my names, and called him by them to enhance his glory. 70 princes gave I into his hand to command unto them my precepts and my words in every language, to abase by his word the proud to the ground, and to exalt by the utterance of his lips the humble to the height, to smite kings by his speech, to turn kings away from their paths, to set up the rulers over their dominion, as it is written, Daniel chapter 2, verse 21. And he changeth the times and the seasons, and to give wisdom unto all the set wise of the world and understanding, and knowledge to all who understand knowledge, as it is, I presume this word is written, Daniel 2:21, and knowledge to them that know understanding, to reveal to them the secrets of my words, and teach the decree of my righteous judgment, as it is written. Isaiah 55:n. So shall my word be that goeth forth from my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that which I please. Esse I shall accomplish is not written here, but as daha, he shall accomplish, meaning that whatever word and whatever utterance goes forth from before the Holy One, blessed be he, Metatron stands and carries it out. And he establishes the decrees of the Holy One, blessed be he. Chapter 48, D. The names of Metatron. The treasuries of wisdom opened to Moses on Mount Sinai. The angels protest against Metatron for revealing the secrets to Moses and are answered and rebuked by God. The chain of tradition and the power of the transmitted mysteries to heal diseases. 70 names has Metatron, which the Holy One, blessed be he, took from his own name and put upon him. And these they are Yehoel, Yah, Yehoel, Yophiel, and Yophfiel, and Aphiel, and Margiziel, Gipuyel, Paaziel, Aa, Periel, Tatriel, Tabkiel, W, YHWH, DH, WHYH, Ebed, Deburiel, Aphapiel, Spupiel, Paspapsiel, Synagron, Metatron, Sogdin, Adragon, Asum, Sakpam, Tom. I sure hope I'm not calling a demon out of the pits of hell. This looks like barbarous magical name. Mygon, Miton, Motron, Rosfem, Kenoth, Chantaya, Degazia, Pisaipa, Pispaya, BSK, NYH, MZRG, Barad, MKRKK, MSPRD, Chishig, Chishib, MNRTTT, BSYRYM, Mitmon, Titmon, Bisquan, Safya, ZRCH, ZRCH B, Bia, HBH, Bia, Pelet, PLYT Rabbiya, Chaz, Chazya, Tafya, Tamya, Sehazya, Irurya, Alalya, Bazridya, Satsatya, Sazdya, Razya, Bazrazya, Arimya, Sibya, SBIB, KHYH, Simcam, Yasaya, SSBIB, Sab Kasbia, Kelil Kalya, FKIHHH, HHYH, WH, WHYH, Zaklaya, Tutrizya, Surya, Zay, Pinir, Ya, Ziz H, Gal, Razaya, Mamlikya, Titya, Emek, Kwamya, Meka, Peraya, Perishya, Sifam, Gibir, Ya, Gorya, Zu, Akbar, the lesser Yahweh, after the name of his master, Ezekiel 23:21, for my name is in him. Rab Bibiel, Tumiel, Sengasakiel, Sagnizagiel, Nagan Zagael, the Prince of Wisdom. And why is he called Sagnasakiel? Because all the treasuries of wisdom are committed in his hand. And all of them were open to Moses on Sinai, so that he learnt them during the 40 days while he was standing, remaining. The Torah in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, the prophets in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, the writings in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, the halakas in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, the traditions in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, the Haggadahs in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues, and the Tosefetas in the 70 aspects of the 70 tongues. All Hebrew and Jewish people, please accept my apologies for pronunciation. Please do. Do not mean to bring any kind of anything other than honor to your tradition. But as soon as the 40 days were ended, he forgot all of them in one moment. Then the Holy One, blessed be he, called Yephivah, the prince of the law, and through him they were given to Moses as a gift, as it is written, Deuteronomy 10:4, and the Lord gave them unto me. And after that, it remained with him. And whence do we know that it remained in his memory? Because it is written. That's not Malachi. I'm going to say that could be Malachi with a I as a error or a typo. Let us know. Those of you who are reading in the book, as it is written, MAI, is that Malachi? And there's a typo there. Let us know. 4:4. Remember ye the law of Moses and my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, even my statutes and judgments, the law of Moses, that is the Torah, the prophets, and the writings, statutes, that is the halakas and traditions, judgments, that is the Haggadahs and the Toseftas. And all of them were given to Moses on high, on Sinai. These 70 names are a reflection of the explicit names on the Merkabah, which are graven upon the throne of glory. For the Holy One, blessed be he, took from his explicit names and put upon the name of Metatron 70 names of his, by which the ministering angels call the King of Kings of Kings, blessed be he, in the high heavens, and 22 letters that are on the ring upon his finger, with which are sealed the destinies of the princes of kingdoms on high in greatness and power, and with which are sealed the lots of the angel of death, and the destinies of every nation and tongue. Said Metatron, the angel, the prince of the presence, the angel, the prince of the wisdom, the angel, the prince of the understanding, the angel, the prince of the kings, the angel, the prince of the rulers, the angel, the prince of the glory, the angel, the prince of the high ones, and of the princes, the exalted, great and honored ones in heaven and on earth. H. The God of Israel is my witness in this thing, that when I revealed this secret to Moses, then all the hosts and every high raged against me and said to me, why dost thou reveal this secret to son of man, born of woman, tainted and unclean, a man of a putrefying drop, the secret by which were created heaven and earth, the sea and the dry land, the mountains and hills, the rivers and springs, Gehenna of fire and hail, the Garden of Eden and the tree of life, and by which were formed Adam and Eve, and the cattle, and the wild beasts. Hold on, let's plug in the computer. Hold on. Pardon me. Apologies. Thought I had enough juice. Apparently I don't. Hold on. Thought I had enough juice, yet I do not. Juice. Thank you, computer. Telling me you need juice. Got it. And by which were formed Adam and Eve, and the cattle, and the wild beasts, and the fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea, and behemoth, and leviathan, and the creeping things, the worms, the dragons of the sea, and the creeping things of the desert, and the Torah, and wisdom, and knowledge, and thought, and the gnosis of things above, and the fear of heaven. Why dost thou reveal this to flesh and blood? I answered, because the Holy One, blessed be he, has given me authority. And furthermore, I have obtained permission from the high and exalted throne, from which all the explicit names go forth with lightnings of fire and flaming chasmalim. But they were not appeased until the Holy One, blessed be he, rebuked them and drove them away with rebuke from before him, saying to them, I delight in and have set my love on, and have entrusted and committed unto Metatron, my servant alone, for he is the one unique among all the children of heaven. And Metatron brought them out from his house of treasuries and committed them to Moses, and Moses to Joshua, and Joshua to the elders, and the elders to the prophets, and the prophets to the men of the great synagogue, and the men of the great synagogue to Ezra, and Ezra the scribe to Hillel the elder, and Hillel the elder to Abahu, and Abahu to Zerah, and Rabbi Zerah to the men of faith. And the men of faith committed them to give warning and to heal by them all diseases that rage in the world, as it is written, Exodus 15:26. If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt thou do that which is right in his eyes, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases upon thee, which I have put upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. Ended and finished. Praise be unto the Creator of the world. We have completed all 3 books of Enoch. And wow, before we go to the commentary, we are going to read the introduction to the 3rd book of Enoch. We read the introduction to the book after we've read the book. Why? So that we can draw our own conclusions as to the meaning and have your own experience of the book, and then you can hear from experts on what they have to say about the book. Here is the introduction to Enoch 3. Enoch is an Old Testament apocryphal book. 3rd Enoch purports to have been written in the 2nd century CE, but its origins can only be traced to the 5th century. So book 1 of Enoch, which is a composite of perhaps 3 to 5 books, that was written somewhere 300-400 BC, possibly older. The Book of Watchers possibly goes back to 600 BC or BCE. The 2nd book of Enoch was written late in the 1st century before the destruction of the Jerusalem temple, maybe around 60 CE of our Common Era. And then come forward a few hundred years more, and we have the third book of Enoch, written by purportedly Rabbi Ishmael, written, it says it dates back to the 2nd century. It is not uncommon for books like this to give themselves an older date than they are so that they have more validity. Yet, as is mentioned here, the origins can only be traced to the 5th century CE. Other names for third Enoch include the third book of Enoch, the book of the palaces, the book of Rabbi Ishmael the high priest, and the revelation of Metatron. Content. What do modern scholars say about it? Modern scholars describe this book as pseudipigraphal, as it is from the Pseudipigrapha, as it says, it is written by Rabbi Ishmael, who became a high priest after visions of ascension to heaven in 90 AD to 135 AD. Rabbi Ishmael is a leading figure of Merkaba literature, or Merkaba, depending on how you pronounce it. The name Sefer Hekalot meaning palaces, temples, along with its proposed author, places this book as a member of Hekalot Merkaba lore. Its contents suggest that third Enoch's contents and ideas are newer than those shown in other Merkaba texts. The book does not contain Merkaba hymns. It has unique layout and adjuration. All these facts make third Enoch unique, not just among Merkaba writings, but also within the writings of Enoch. Enoch contains a number of Greek and Latin contains a number of Greek and Latin words. This book, unlike 1 Enoch, appears to have been originally written in Hebrew. There are a number of indications suggesting that the writers of 3rd Enoch had knowledge of and most likely read 1 Enoch. Very true. Some points that appear in Enoch 1 and Enoch 3 are Enoch ascends to heaven in a storm chariot from 3rd Enoch 6:1 and 7:1. This is in 3rd Enoch 6:1 and 7:1. Enoch is transformed into an angel. That's in 3rd Enoch 9:1 through 5 and 15:1 through 2. Enoch as an exalted angel is enthroned in heaven. 3rd Enoch 10:1 through 3, 16:1. Enoch receives a revelation of cosmological secrets of creation. 3rd Enoch 13:1 through 2. The story about precious metals and how they will not avail their users and those that make idols against them, make idols from them. 3rd Enoch 5:7 through 14. One of the characters is a hostile angel named Azazel, 3rd Enoch 4:6 and 5:9. The main themes running through 3rd Enoch are the ascension of Enoch into heaven and his transformation into the angel Metatron. And with that, beautiful, beautiful souls, you beautiful, indescribably amazing God being. We have concluded, celebrate it. We have concluded Enoch 1. We have concluded Enoch 2. And we have just completed the 3rd book of Enoch. Somebody ought to celebrate and jump up and down and have a party up in here. Wow. Don't you feel so accomplished? Don't you feel so accomplished? There's something I want to show you. And then I want to, there's something I want to show you. Oh my goodness, there is something I want to show you. There is something I want to show you. Hallelujah, Danelle's here. We made it through all 3 books of Enoch. Woo, my head is spinning. We will never be the same. We will never be the same. There's something I desire to show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. You are going to love this. Hold on. Let's make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. You're going to love this. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. If you go to valerielove.com/Bible, you missed a few days of Enoch, but I'm still here. Come on, Aries Moon. You're still here. You still in the game. You are still in the game. And for that, you celebrate. Hello? We're reading the entire Bible. Now, if you scroll down, this is all the details about it. And if you scroll down on this page, yes, it shows you my book, how to get the book. It shows you the books of the Bible that we have completed. And now let's look at what we have completed because y'all are so freaking awesome. And next is going to go right here, the book of Enoch. You have completed the entire book of Genesis. We have completed the books of Adam and Eve from the Pseudipigrapha. We have completed Life of Adam and Eve from the Pseudipigrapha. We have completed Life of Adam and Eve, aka the Apocalypse of Moses from the Pseudipigrapha. We have completed the Apocalypse of Adam from the Pseudipigrapha. We have completed the Book of Adam from the Pseudipigrapha. We have completed 1 Enoch from the Apocrypha. We have completed the book of the Secrets of Enoch, aka Enoch 2 from the Apocrypha. And now adding to this list, we have completed Enoch 3 from the Pseudipigrapha. Wow. And guess what? We started this. Isn't that a lot? Dia, let me tell you something, Dia. Shout that from the rooftop, Dia. You said a word right there. I know I never would have read all this on my own. That's exactly me, Dia. That's why I'm doing this because with y'all, with us being accountable to each other, I know I'm going to show up every day and do it at the same time. I'm going to honor my commitment because it's the power of the public pledge. Anytime you really want to get something done, make a public pledge to people and have people looking at you like you said you were going to do such and such. Oh, yes, I am doing it. And oh my goodness, the power of the public pledge has us doing, oh, I'm getting the God bumps right now, has us doing something that we would have never done on our own. I mean, you have to be super dedicated, super committed to actually read through all these books straight every single day at the same time. Like something's going to come up, something's going to happen. No, we have done it. And you know what's so amazing about it? It is a habit. That's right. That's exactly right, Aries moon. It's locked in as a habit. And do you want to know something very fascinating about this? We did it pretty fast. When you consider, we started January 1st. Today is March 8th. 2 months and a week. And we already clipped through all of that. Next up, Exodus. I think it's one of my favorite books of the Bible after Genesis. Exodus. Just strap your seatbelt on for Exodus because Exodus is coming for next. Okay, so if you came here for the reading of the Bible, the Apocrypha, and parts of the Pseudipigrapha, you have it. There you have it. And if you're here for the commentary, let's get into it. So, we now have completed the third book of Enoch. We understand that 1 Enoch, 2 Enoch, and 3 Enoch are from 3 completely different generations. They're hundreds of years apart, each of them. And we also know that this last installation is written Probably not by Rabbi Ishmael, who lived in the first century. It is likely written by someone who is referring to Rabbi Ishmael. And here I want to bring attention to pseudepigraphical texts or pseudonymous texts. It is very common for texts in the ancient world to be pseudonymous. What does that mean? To be named after a person who people know, yet that book is not written by that person. Give you an example. Third Enoch, supposedly written by Rabbi Ishmael. Now we know Rabbi Ishmael did not write it. Rabbi Ishmael lived in the first century, as we just saw from the scholarly research. This book was written, the earliest we can say is 5th century CE. Rabbi Ishmael lived in the 1st century CE. So there's a 400-year gap there, give or take. What gives? This is very common. It is very common in the ancient world, all the way up, I think maybe to a few centuries into the Common Era. It's very common for someone, some scribes or some group of scribes, to write a work and put someone else's name on it. That could have been what happened with the Pauline epistles. We're not at the Pauline epistles yet, the works of Paul. When we get, I'm bringing this up now as another example, that the works of Paul are not written by Paul. Paul did not sit down and write 13 letters. I mean, if you think through the logic of Paul sitting down and writing 13 letters and sending them to all these people, it doesn't add up. So Paul could not have written those 13 letters that everyone reads in the Bible, Galatians and Philippians and First Corinthians and Second Corinthians and Hebrews. Paul didn't write all that, right? And if people knew about Paul and then you wrote Galatians and you put Paul's name on it, that would give Galatians weight. That would give Galatians validity. That would make people sit up and pay attention. Oh, it has this person's name on it. And in the ancient world, that was not a crime. Now, today, that's a crime. It was not a crime that you can't write a whole book and say J.K. Rowling wrote it. She would sue you, right? From here to February. That is normal. That is par for the course in the ancient world. People wrote things all the time. Who wrote them, we don't know. And they put names on it. And scholars call those the original ghostwriters. I know, right? And scholars call those pseudonymous. It's not theft of a person's name, of an author's name, to give my book validity. They call it pseudonymous, and it was normal. It was kind of what people did. Like, you could write something and put Homer's name on it. Yet we know, looking at it later, that it's like hundreds of years, like written 1,000 years after Homer. Homer didn't write this. Just like we can look at Rabbi Ishmael's life, and he is a historical person, and we have proof of him being a historical person. And here we are, centuries later, someone wrote something and they put Rabbi Ishmael's name on it because everyone knows Rabbi Ishmael was one of these people that was very lauded, very prominent, and that if you say Rabbi Ishmael, people will sit up and pay attention. Oh, Rabbi Ishmael said this. So it wasn't a crime. Oh, thank you, Dia. That was Malachi 4:4. I was wondering if that was a typo. Thank you for that, because I had that question. All right, Denilcia, I do not know about a habit, but yep, I would not have ever been still enough to read on my own. I know, nor been able to think of and answer some of questions that we uncovered and did. Oh my goodness. And you know what makes this so rich? What makes this so rich is that it's a conversation. Like, if I was just here by myself, or if I was, that's why I love that it's live. Because if every day I just uploaded it And I'm not saying anything's wrong with uploaded videos. I like uploaded videos. I upload the video and then read the comments later, or I upload the video and I'm in, upload it as what they call a premiere on YouTube, where I'm in the comments with people as we all watch it live together. That's good too. And on some occasions, I do that because I travel, right? I travel a lot and I'll be traveling a lot this year. So on some occasions, we will not be live. On most occasions, we're live. And I love the live nature of things because it's unedited, it's unscripted, it's in the moment, it's ahas, it's coming to us, it's comments, it's a conversation. I feel like I'm sitting in a big room with y'all having this conversation and we're batting ideas back and forth about esoteric science and the history of humanity and the origins of humanity and science and biology and magic and Christian witchcraft and the Bible and history and dragons and demons and angels. Like, I feel like we're talking about all of those things and it feels so good. That's my jam. I just love that. I just love it. Isn't it the truth, Denelzia? Critical Thinking Skills 101. This is what they made us ditch at the door. When you go into church, when you walk into a church, they make you ditch your beliefs, your critical thinking skills at the door. And they tell you when you come into church, this works on belief. Everything we do, when you step through the door of a church, you are stepping through a portal. Now, on the other side of the portal, inside the church, everything inside there works on belief. Nothing has to be proven. Nothing has to be factual. Nothing has to be historical. What matters is that you believe. Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? I believe. I believe Jesus died for my sins. I believe Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I believe. The whole religion works on belief. Now, outside of the door, when you exit the church, you are not in the land of belief anymore. They created a fantasy world. It's a part-time fantasy world. When you come out of the church doors, you are in what we would call the real world. And even that is not real. It's a matrix of sorts. Anyway, you are in the world of physicality where facts matter, where you can go to prison based on facts, where there's actual history that refutes what's spoken of in this book, in this house, where science gives us data, where we can prove things, where we can get evidence, where we can hear from archaeologists, Bible scholars, linguistic scholars. I love that. Scientists, astronomers, engineers. I love that. Now, I understand that when I cross the threshold again going into the church, I'm in another world. I'm in belief land. Belief land. Be lie. Isn't that the truth? Honey, Denelzia. You have to believe. And that's all. You don't even have to do all the things right, because they have a lot of outs. They have a lot of escape hatches, a lot of ways that you don't have to be held accountable, a lot of spiritual bypasses. So if you commit fornication, oh, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. If you commit, because of course, people are having sex all the time and that they're not married to. If you commit adultery, oh, no, don't do that. But if you're a witch or if you're gay or you're a lesbian, oh, they come with the full hell and brimstone. They love to hate on certain pet peeves. Church has pet peeves. They have certain things that they love to hate. And other things, hey, the pastor could be committing adultery quite a bit. No problem. No problem. I have heard gospel singers that tell us that when they got to the church and they were called into the pastor's room, you were going to get bent over the table, and then you would go over the pastor's desk, and then you would go. And we've heard these stories. We're going to act like these stories don't exist. We heard these stories. We heard many, many, many tales of what goes on in the pastor's office. No problem. The first lady could be sitting on the front row. next to the pastor's, one of the pastor's side pieces, side chicks, side piece, whatever you want to call it. They're all wearing their cute church clothes and their big church hats. And it's not a problem because the pastor's still pastoring. People are acting like they don't see it. Everyone knows. And it's no problem. You don't have to clean that up. You can just keep right on doing that. No problem. And then you come into the world of spirituality, where you have to actually be accountable for your actions, where what you put out comes back, where you understand karma, and where you start to experience the consequences of your energetic outputs and your speaking. And you begin waking up and you can see the wounds and feel the wounds and understand where people are coming from and why they're in their woundedness, and we're acting from our woundedness, and then we start to get compassion. Oh my God, oh my goodness, what is going on with me? Yeah, you still got that anger from your dad not taking you to the park when you were 4. What? Yeah, you got a raging mad inner child. What? Yeah, you start waking up to all this stuff that's inside of you, and you start taking plant medicine, and you start, and the energy is moving that's been suppressed or just sitting there for like 30 years in your energetic system, just sitting there. Every so often, it's like, hey, it pokes up in a relationship and pokes people and stabs people sometimes. But you go on about your business because it's okay when you're in church, because church does not demand you to go do shadow work like witches do, like magicians do, like sorcerers do, like people in the spiritual path do, esoteric sciences. It requires you to do shadow work. It's a requirement that you actually have to go down into the cesspool of your consciousness. And, oh my God, what is this? This is something from when I was in 4th grade and my teacher embarrassed me in front of the whole class. What? What? And that's why I don't have money now? What the fuck? I'm too embarrassed to speak up. That's why I can't speak my truth. What the fuck? Yeah. That's when you start discovering all your shit. And you get to clean it up, or no. You don't have to clean it up. You can just keep going around grubby and making a big mess everywhere you go. You don't have to clean it up. Everything in spirituality is an option. It is all voluntary. You're going up whether you want to now or not. Eventually, you're going to go up. Eventually, you're going to transform. Could be 17,000 more lifetimes. Eventually, you're going to get there. So, do you see the difference? Do you see the distinction between the world of religion, where you could just believe, and spirituality, which is experiential? It's 2 different worlds. When I left this world and came into this world, I'm still in awe. And I look back at church and I say, oh, wow, I was in kindergarten. I look back at the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh, wow, I was in jail. I look at that experience and it's shocking. And it's beautiful at the same time, because every experience that you have ever had is a required experience for you to be who you are right now and to be where you are right now. Now, let's get to this part that I want to say about Enoch 3. Even though I'm very happy that we completed the books of Enoch, I'm ready to be done with Enoch. Being honest, truth be told, I've had enough Enoch for this year. It'll probably last me for the rest of the year. I might not pick up any of the books of Enoch again for the rest of the year. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's move on to Exodus. Let's just move on. One thing about these names, these 70 names, and we read 3 different versions of the same thing, right? They had an A version, a B version, a C version, and then they had part D. Well, these different versions basically tell the same story, that Enoch was so loved. This is the whole, if we want to put a cap on the whole thing, right? I'm glad Enoch is over with too. Phoenix Rising. Love Enoch. Done. Been there, done that. We all have the t-shirt. I read Enoch 1, 2, and 3. What you did this morning. We can all wear that t-shirt now. Yay. And on to Exodus. One thing I want to say about this Enoch situation, the whole vibe of Enoch is that he was one that the high God looked at of all the people on the planet and said, I like you. I think I want to make you my pet. Come on, I'm going to bring you up here. Tell your family goodbye. You're going to come with me. An alien abduction. And when he took him up there, he gave him all kinds of perks and gave him access. And he saw things that no other human being ever saw. And what we know about the Enoch, that's the whole premise of Enoch, right? And then in this one, the angels get mad. Why did you bring him up here? They're fussing with God. What's going on, God? First, they're lauding, holy, 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 blessed be he, holy, holy, holy. If they even sing the song wrong, boom, they get offed. Even if they sing the song wrong, or if they sing the wrong song out of order, they get offed and their spirits go back behind the throne. So if you put one foot wrong, you're going to get offed and you're turned into a burning coal and you're just fired. Yet they can argue with God. They can actually come to God and say, hey, God, why did you bring this human up here? We don't like him. Why did you tell him all the secrets? We're not supposed to be telling the humans the secrets. Why did you show him all the things wrapped in? Like, that's privileged information. It's like the CIA. He didn't have that security clearance. What gives? God. And then God says, Metatron, Enoch / Metatron, you handle this. And Metatron goes and rebukes them and says, well, listen, God gave me all these things, and I think y'all are just jealous. He liked me. He loves me. He loves me. I'm his pet. Y'all are jealous because I topped all of y'all. Now I'm at the top. I'm like mini God now. There's God, and then there's mini God. There's God, and there's me. Y'all now mad because I got a raise and a promotion, and now I'm all y'all boss. And y'all don't like it. I know you're salty. Like I was a human before. Now I'm glorified. Do you see these 70 eyes on one side and 70 eyes on the other side? Do you see that my eyes are now lightning bolts and my eyebrows are flashes of fire? Do you now see that my hair is torches of flames? Like, look at me. And, I'm brighter than all of you guys. And you're complaining. And I get your point. It's just not valid because he loves me. And then they were still salty. And then God stepped in and rebuked them all. Get the fuck out of here. Like, wow. This is quite the story. I love it. I'm here for it. Please tell me whether or not this is Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. It reads just like Lord of the Rings. It reads just like any epic fantasy, except this is a celestial cosmic drama that plays out in the ethers. I write epic fantasy. This is epic fantasy. Okay, let's go further. Now, what is this actually based on? Is this actually based on a true story? Yes, it is actually based on a true story. There was a human that the Anunnaki brought up, and his name is, as we talked about the other day, Enmenduranki, or some would say in Menderanki. Enmenduranki was an actual human being spoken of in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, he could have had a different name before then. There is a tale, a story in different tellings of this story that there was a human and he was a king. He was the seventh king, and Enoch was the seventh son from Adam, right? Adam and then Seth, and then was it Adam and then Abel, and then Seth and then Enoch, and Noah and then Jared. Jared was Enoch's father, and Methuselah's in there. No, Methuselah is Enoch's son. Enoch is the seventh. The other person who was abducted and brought up and shown all these things was the seventh king. So they kept the seven. Then we're here for all the Bible mayhem. We're here for it. Then, when they brought this being up in one of the cuneiform tablets, one of these stories that I read, they gave him like a tablet to write on, and they gave him like this magical pen. So when you hear in the book of Enoch that they gave them a style, like a stylus, a style, a writing instrument, and the style, they gave them like a tablet and they gave them a style. And the style had all these diamonds on it or precious metals and so forth. This was a magical pen, basically. And this person received that kind of thing. They now call it magical. It was likely simply technological. Like if you had never seen a writing pen before, even the advanced technology of a pen with the ink in the barrel and a ball point that rolls around. If you had seen that and you were a scribe dipping a feather into a bottle of ink, you got a quill from a bird and you made ink from plants, dye, right? Ink, however they made ink, and you're dipping your, if you saw a pen that already had the ink in it and a ball that rolled around to distribute the ink clearly as you write, that would have been the most major transformation. That would have been a cutting edge magical implement. That would have been revolutionary. A big ballpoint pen would have been revolutionary, would have changed the world. Scribes would have been like, I have a pen now. You have a pen. Where did you get it? Look, watch this. No dipping. I can see the commercial back in the day with the guy walking in the desert with the wool on and a pen. Yeah, I don't dip ink anymore. You don't dip ink anymore? No, I don't get my quills from birds anymore. You don't get your quills from birds anymore. What do you have? A pen. Ah, behold the pen. Like that would have been amazing. Amazing. So you can imagine that it's very easy for me to imagine that they gave him some kind of technological instrument for writing when he was up there and they called it magical because they had never seen anything like this. These are humans who have not yet got to the advanced level. These are not humans that are dumber. It's just different levels of understanding. A baby is not dumb. A baby is ignorant. There's a difference. A person is not dumb if they don't yet know what this advanced technological system does. They're not dumb. They're just ignorant. They just don't know. And don't know can be solved with knowledge. You can learn it and then you can do it in a magical style. Indeed, dear, we need to put these. So the AI can create a movie for us, right? Of what would it look like if someone in the first century BCE actually had a pen? How much more would Homer have written if Homer had a pen? Now I have the works of Homer right here next to me. Let me see. Okay. This is the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now Homer wrote all this Homer wrote this. When did Homer write? 600 BCE? 800 BCE? When did Homer write the Iliad and the Odyssey? Homer, somewhere around 600 BCE. If he wrote all this by hand. He sat down and wrote all these words. If we had given Homer a pen, we probably would have 10 books. But he had to dip the quill in the ink. If we had given Homer a computer, baby, we would have a whole library from Homer. And he didn't have that. And so you do the best you can with what you have, and it's still going to be extraordinary. We're still reading the Iliad and the Odyssey today. When I was in school, I had to read the Iliad and the Odyssey. We still are reading Homer. Okay? So I say all that to say that we get to put these writings into context. First Enoch, second Enoch, third Enoch. We get to understand what pseudipigrapha means. We get to understand the actual writing experience of those who pen these words. And we also get to understand that some of it is, most of it is not written by the people who say they wrote it. And most of it is conjecture. It's stories made up. And it was okay to make up stories in the ancient world because we didn't have such a thing as fiction and nonfiction. Now we have fiction and nonfiction. Is this a story? Or are you telling me the facts? Which one? And then you pick. You know that when you get a fiction or a novel, you're reading a story. Well, back in the day, they didn't do that. Back in the day, Matthew was fan fiction. Yes, he was born of a virgin. No one else said that. That came later. He was born of a virgin. They begin to build on the story, and I'm going to prove that all to you with facts and research and books and resources and sources when we get to the Gospels. For now, I'll see you tomorrow. Exodus. Well, peace.